You need to have direction. A lot of people, they don't have direction. And it's like a ship. Imagine a ship that doesn't know what direction it's sailing in, right? A ship that doesn't have directions or doesn't know where it's going, any wind is favorable. So you need to make sure that in life, you one, have a goal. You want to make over $10,000 a month. You want to make $100,000. You want to make $1 million. You want to make, it doesn't matter what. You just need to start off by having a goal. That's number one. Number two, it's easy to set up a goal and not accomplish it. A lot of time people make goals, but they don't take the necessary means or the right steps to head towards their goals. So, what do you need to do to accomplish your goal? How are you going to achieve your goal? You need to find daily things that you do in your accord to get you to meet your requirements and meet your goals so that at the end of the year, at the end of the month, at the end of the week, you're one step closer to what you want to achieve in the grand scheme of things, right? So I'll break it down for you really simple. Consistency compounds. So when you do things over and over and over again, they compound, right? Someone doesn't get jacked and have a lot of muscles and have a six pack in one day. Someone doesn't get fat in one day. You don't just wake up one morning and you're fat. It's compounded over time of eating bad, having bad habits, eating really late, not exercising, not working out. That stuff slowly compounds, and in like 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you become really fat. Or you do the opposite where you eat really good, you work out pretty often, and then you become really in shape. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens over time and it compounds, right? So you need to understand the power of consistency. It's hard sometimes in the moment to be like, damn, I want to achieve that thing right now, but you have to understand that the reason our mindset is like that is because of how the world is and how we're so used to like the TikTok or just the social media, um, these artificial dopamine that isn't good for your success and your longevity if you want to make it really far. And that's going to mess up your consistency because you're going to be reading a book, you're going to be doing something, and it's going to be hard for you to focus. The biggest thing is they're trying to take away our focus so we can't do things for a long period of time. If you want to make it and you want to be successful, you have to be able to focus for long periods of time, right? You're going to need consistency. You're going to need to consistently do those daily habits and those daily disciplines and not have to need that motivation because sometimes, yeah, you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be like, yes, let's go, let's do it. But a lot of times the reality is you're not going to feel like you want to do it. You're not going to want to get up. You're going to want to snooze, but that's when you go harder. That's when you actually push and do it a lot more. And you might not see any results right away. You might not get the results you want tomorrow. You might not get the results you want next month, next 6 months, next 8 months, but maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years. But you have to be okay understanding that you're gonna still get up every single day and do what you have to do, regardless of if the results or the reality isn't what you want it to be as yet, because that's exactly how it's going to be. That's the harsh truth. Most people aren't going to tell you that what you want and your goals and what the ambitions you have for yourself, it's not going to happen right away. All these things and these accolades take time, and the reason it take times is if it was easy, then wouldn't everybody have it? Listen, you can make it at anything you want. Thing is, you can't quit. If you don't have that consistency, if you don't keep going, you are not going to make it. That's the truth. Number three, a big thing that's going to help or break whether you make it or what you do in life. Your surroundings. Your surroundings is super powerful. Those relationships, those friends, those vices that you succumb to, all those things, they if they don't help and bring you closer to what you want to accomplish and what you want to achieve, you have to understand that it does the opposite. So if it's not helping you and it's not putting towards you, it's taken away from you, right? So a simple thing that I try to do is always realize whenever I have a bad thought or whenever I have those vices, because no one's perfect, right? And we all get those thoughts, is you want to replace those thoughts with positive ones, right? And once you do that over and over and over again, it goes back to that consistency. you will start becoming to the point where you don't have to think about that anymore. You just do and move and act like you're supposed to. Because if your thoughts are misleading you, if your thoughts are taken away from you, then you won't achieve and get what you want to achieve. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's not easy. And sometimes you are going to fall back. Sometimes you are going to mess up. Sometimes you are going to take that step back. And what you need to take that as is a learning experience of, okay, what triggered me or what got me to the point where I fell back or I went back to that situation. Because a lot of people, they don't understand that they self-sabotage. You self-sabotage when you surround yourself with people that don't help you to grow, like friends and people that aren't adding value to your life, that aren't given towards your goals or your accomplishments that you want to get for yourself, right? You're wasting your time. When you have those friends that call you to go out and you know you don't talk about anything that's going to help you to make money, which is your goal, they don't contribute, they take away from what you're doing. You're self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging is one of the biggest things that lead people from not getting what they want to accomplish and achieve. When you self-sabotage with those vices, when you self-sabotage with those thoughts, those habits that you consistently go back to, sometimes it's easy, especially if you're a man, to like succumb to lust. Like that used to be like one of my biggest problems. Is for the most part I feel like I'm disciplined when it comes to my fitness, with my eating, and just being vulnerable and open with you guys right now. Is I used to a lot of times succumb to lust. And the biggest way to not succumb to that is understanding, like, you open Instagram or your feed and all you're seeing is just women in things that are degrading to your mind, that's going to make you sexualize women a lot more. It's so powerful that your thoughts lead to your actions. Your mind thinks the same thoughts every single day. You have a pattern, and you have to understand what triggers me to go into those thoughts that lead to me going into those patterns, that lead to me taking those actions, that lead to me not going towards my goal, but actually going away from it. And every single time you realize that, you need to replace that with a new habit, a new thought that's going to rewire you in the direction that you need to go to achieve your goals. Not instantly, but over time, you become a different person. You might have friends that say, hey man, like, what's up? We don't talk anymore. We don't hang out anymore. Like, what's up? What's going on, man? Like, did you change? Like, we used to smoke, we used to chill. Like, what happened? But sometimes, in order to hit a new level, you have to grow some people out. You have to grow some things out. You gotta become a man. There's a saying that in the Bible, it says, when I became a man, I put away childish things. A lot of things you're doing right now are childish. And if you want to become that man in your life, if you want to accomplish those things, those dreams, those goals, you have to put away those childish things. You have to put away those distractions. So just to summarize it and just end this video off, there's things that separate people that win from people that lose. Those things are how consistent you are at what you do. What habits do you have? What thoughts are you thinking? What actions are you taking? Are you being consistent with what you're doing? And the only way that you don't make it at something is if you quit, is if you give up. So just understanding that as you stay consistent, as you don't expect your results to come the next day or the next month or the next week, and you just consistently do what you have to do over time, and you don't focus on the exterior, you don't focus on the output, and you just focus on the inputs every single day, eventually you're going to get to the point where you have the output. And if you do that throughout your entire life, you'll 100% get all the goals and all the things that you want to achieve for yourself. Until next time.